Hi, I'm Brendan Homan, coming to you from Toowoomba, the capital city of the world. Today my post is directed to property investors, and it's actually a very, very important post, especially for those who are about to purchase an investment property. And look, it has to do with APRA, who is the bank regulators, the government regulators of the banks. They have made massive changes over the last 4 or 5 weeks to how the banks operate in regards to investors. And there's a couple of things they've done. Number one, they've required the banks to increase their capitalisation. Now what that is for the banks is that's like their little safety net, I guess you'd say, that if any unexpected eventualities come along, they've got enough money there to cover it. I think that's a good thing. That's there to prevent another GFC type occurrence happening. But number two, and this is the big one for property investors, is the APRA's gone to the banks and said, look, we don't want you to increase your investment loans, the amount of investment loans you give out, by more than 10%. And the thing is, at the moment, there is a lot more demand than that. So for the very first time, the banks have just this little pot of money which they're limited to lending out for investments. Yet there's a lot more people and a lot more investors than what that pot allows. So that's been, the bank's reaction has been a couple of things. Number one, they have increased investment loans on average, the rates, by about 0.3%. So it's now more expensive to borrow money for investments. And number two, a lot of them have increased the deposit requirements to a 20% deposit. Whereas before, pretty much 10% deposit got you across the board. Now, this is a changing scenario. Some banks are still on 10%, but it's changing week by week. Some banks are so close to already lending their full pot that they've, like AMP, for example, at the moment, has closed off their loan books. So that's not even happening. Okay, how do you get around this? Look, there's not a lot. You've got to deal with it. But as I said, it is a changing scenario as the banks react to all these changes, and it's happened very quickly. They're still learning about it themselves. So while they've got rules and regulation, their rules and criteria this week, it can be completely different rules next week. So I suggest to you, stop talking to the banks to get your investment loans and instead talk to a broker. See, the thing is, a broker knows all the different banks and all their criterias and how they're changing. So this week, this bank might be the best product for you, whereas they can tighten their criteria between now and next week when you find your property and actually apply, so that there's another lender over here which offers a better deal for you. And not only banks, brokers have got access to building societies and private lenders and just so many more lenders, so they can match you with whoever is best for you. So again, if you like a couple of names of a couple of good brokers, please get in contact with me. Happy to pass those on. But again, for investors, the game is changing and it is getting tougher. Look, the bank's doing this for a reason. Probably in the long term for the economy, it's a good thing, but make sure you do your homework first. If you've got any questions I'd discuss this, certainly appreciate your calls. I am Brendan Homan from Remax Success. Have a great day.